President Trump says it will soon be clear if the U.S. will sign a deal with Iran or if the military has to go in and finish the job. Trump warns Iran has until early next week to agree to a deal. This is at least the sixth deadline since the war began. And recently, the Iranian government released new boundaries for the Strait of Hormuz, saying the area is now being overseen by a newly created Persian Gulf Strait Authority. That group says ships traveling through the strait now need its approval. But today, President Trump pushed back, saying the U.S. Navy is in control of the strait.
We have total control of the Strait of Hormuz, as you know, with our blockade. The blockade's been 100% effective. Nobody's been able to get through. It's like a steel wall. It's our Navy. We have the greatest military anywhere in the world.
Gas prices are rising again. AAA says the national average has hit $4.56, the highest level in 4 years. Here in Iowa, it's $4.27. And since the war began, prices are up over 50%. If you want to know where you can fill up for the lowest price in the metro, Local 5 has you covered. Just text GAS to the number on your screen. That is 515-457-1026, and a list will be sent to you. A bipartisan backlash is growing over the anti-weaponization fund established as part of President Trump's settlement with the IRS over his leaked tax returns. Attorney General Todd Blanche met privately with Senate Republicans to stem the growing outrage over the nearly $2 billion fund. The money is to compensate people who believe they were mistreated by the Justice Department under President Biden. The Senate was expected to move forward on a filibuster-proof immigration enforcement bill, which is a top priority for President Trump, but frustration over the fund forced the Senate to delay votes.
MAGA slush fund to be given out to cronies, probably a lot of it would end up in Trump's pocket or his kids' pocket. Your taxpayers, your dollars, American taxpayers.
I don't support it. I think you can't do that.
Trump set a deadline of June 1st for Congress to finish the immigration enforcement bill, but now the Senate and House are leaving Washington for the rest of the month. It's almost certain they will not meet Trump's timeline on his top priority. Today, a Minnesota woman described as the mastermind of a massive fraud scheme involving a charity was sentenced to over 40 years in prison. Amy Bach was also ordered to pay over $242 million in restitution. Bach spoke before her sentencing, telling the judge she didn't have the words to express how horrible she feels. Bach's attorney says she's devastated at the length of the sentence, but that it's not the end of the road for her. She was convicted last year of bribery and wire fraud involving the Feeding the Future charity. Well, today, Sarah Kellen, a longtime personal assistant to Jeffrey Epstein, told the House Oversight Committee she was sexually and psychologically abused by Epstein. The closed-door session was part of the panel's ongoing inquiry into the federal government's handling of investigations into Epstein. Kellen was previously a subject of criminal investigations but was never charged due to her own allegations of persistent sexual abuse at the hands of Epstein. Today, new travel restrictions were implemented by the U.S. to combat the spread of the Ebola virus outbreak in Central Africa. Now, for at least the next month, anyone who's been in Ebola-affected areas in the last 21 days or who wishes to enter the U.S. must first fly to Washington Dulles International Airport in Virginia for enhanced screening. At least 10 CDC staffers are being sent there to help screen passengers, according to a CDC source. It's among the latest efforts to keep the Ebola outbreak from reaching American soil.
Our number one thing has to be we can't have it affect the United States. We can't have Ebola cases coming here. So you saw we're now not allowing people to come in.
Today, Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the U.S. has offered to fund up to 50 pop-up clinics to help combat the spread of the outbreak, as health authorities stress the risk to the general public remains low.